An old woman lived alone in an even older trapper's shed, deep within the twisting woods. Every morning, she would travel the overgrown paths and head into the village to beg for food. And every evening, she'd return back to her decaying home with barely a scrap or morsel to eat. The villagers were suspicious of the woman and whispered rumors of witchcraft and devil worship. But the woman paid them no mind, as she knew her own truth, and theirs didn't matter. One evening, as the full moon dappled its light upon her path, the woman came up onto the entrance of a long-forgotten graveyard, and sitting still as marble was a cat as black as death, with wispy fur that moved like smoke in the autumn air. The cat stared at the woman, its eyes milky and bright like the full moon above, and then it stood, arching its back and causing its wispy fur to stand alert. At the center of the cat's chest was a smudge of fur as white as bone, and now standing, the cat's true size was revealed. The woman, having lived for many decades under the protective watch of the ancient woods, knew that the creature before her was no cat. But she was also of sharp enough mind to not let it know she was frightened. "Good evening, cat. How go you? Merry?" The woman clenched her walking stick as the cat's eyes danced over her, seemingly amused. "What's wrong, beast? Has a cat your tongue? Or are my old ears failing in their purpose?" She smiled a small, gappy smile, the few teeth she had lining her gums like gravestones crooked in the earth. The cat yawned, a wide yawn, exposing its own far more impressive teeth.
"I,"
it spoke, its voice like a whispered cacophony of trapped souls.
"am hungry."
The old woman swallowed hard. She tightened her grip on her walking stick and adjusted the clasp of her wool shawl. "I beggeth thou pardon, O great beast, but if I mayeth offer you some of the small morsels I have had bestowed upon my person, by the kindness given to me by others of most fair recourse, perhaps your hunger shall abate, and we both may maketh merry in our own separate paths." The woman's hands trembled as she awaited the cat's response.
"A kindest offer, hag. What mayst thou have it for me? Venison? Mutton? A game of sort?"
The cat grinned, its milky eyes flashing hot. "No games, O great creature," she reassured. "Merely the simple offerings of a poor old crone who haseth nothing afore her very self, only a meagre pour of cream and but a stale crust of bread. All for you if your belly so requires." She lowered her gaze downward to the leaf-covered earth. The cat let out a bawdy laugh.
"Oh, haggard woman, How can you even sustain on such respectful and puny portion? It is hardly a meal which would fill up the belly of a mouse, much less a human belly. That is not a meal for me."
The cat's laugh was growling and raised up upon the wind. The woman took a deep breath. "When hungry enough, even the most meager a morsel is a feast. And when shared in kindness, that feast may sustain even the most ravenous of hunger." She withdrew the small bits of food from her sack. "I offer you, in kindness, a small pour of cream and a stale crust of bread, with hopefulness that it may fill your belly, and you may depart to your own home, knowing of care and humanity. And if this is not a pleasing meal, then hunger, perhaps, isn't as tumultuous as you'd immediately asserted." She placed the cream upon the ground in front of the cat and soaked the bread within it. The cat's eyes softened, and it considered the woman.
"You knoweth why I am here, wise crone. You knoweth my nature and my need, and yet you do not falter. Nay, you act instead in service of kindness. To what merry, say you, why do thou perform so wholesomely?"
The cat pawed the earth as the woman spoke. "As a girl, hopeful I played in these woods, among trees and bramble. As a maiden, I lamented my losses and prayed to the woods for guidance. I wasn't ever a mother, so I giveth my love to the quiet and solitude of nature's presence. And as a hag, an old crone, a woman who dwells within the winter of my living, I knoweth that time will end and death comes for all, so I choose to live within my own heart and serve kindness above all, as hath I learned through nature. All kindnesses are offered back in threefold. So to you, O great cat-she, I offer kindness as well, for you are a creature of your own kind in nature, and I know of your rules and laws, and if death is to be dealt in my time, at least consume my last meal and said my soul, as I assure thou, it is far more substantial than the weedy and feeble meat my soul would offer, and I fear a dark death." The woman sighed longingly in her words. The cat-she twittered its tongue against its teeth. Its gaze affixed on the woman. From the shadows of the trees and stones, and illuminated by the moonlight, emerged another dozen or so cat-she, all with hunger in their eyes. The first spoke.
"To my kin, I announce mayeth not you harm the soul of a woman so kind and true to her own mind."
The others tittered a response.
"And to you, wise crone, death had come for you. It left you cold, and with no fire to warm you. No one comes to your cold form to stand vigil. No merry maid, no games played. Alone in death as in life. I'll pray you on this, O kind woman, O soft crone. How chooseth your response, knowing you are a ghost, a spectre, a phantom in these woods, haunting the old paths and heading to a home overtaken by nature.
The woman, disbelieving, merely smiled. I am happy, oh great cat she, to exist exactly as I have been. Please allow me to continue in my lonely path. I feareth any others. The woman trembled against the chilly air.
I will leave you then, Crone, to find your way home.
The cat-she faded, all of them, into the murky darkness of night, and the crone continued on her path home, and would do so until her soul's memory had finally forgotten the path fully. In smoky darkness she doth dwell. Upon her tongue your soul will twist a fern from of twilight's mist. The catching come and motions well. Death will bring the merry May, and if not done, your soul should take. So sing of songs and games, and hope and morning the soul remains. Of fairies fly, the cats lament, and in graveyards her time's been spent, with fires glow and warming scents, amen says the night. So when you walk alone in night time's very tone, be remiss to resist her black and gold and whiskers